being comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I've noticed that throughout my career, I've done the most growing and flourishing when I forced myself outside of my comfort zone and really participated and stretched myself. And through the adversity and the challenge and having to really lean in, I grew by leaps and bounds. And so to this day, one of my mantras is to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I try to do something every day that puts me in a space where I'm uncomfortable so that I can continue growing on a wide spectrum. This example of stepping outside of my comfort zone was actually stepping into my current role. When I was interviewing for the role, I was interviewing against a very competitive slate and knew that I had to do something different to really differentiate myself. So I really stepped outside of my comfort zone and I did customer interviews. I talked with different people. I shadowed my predecessor and I took on additional responsibilities that weren't necessarily within my wheelhouse to try and expand my depth and breadth of skill sets and capabilities. And through that process, I really learned a lot about myself, but also grew in my career as well. And it really prepared me well for the role that I'm in today. Down Michelle Obama's The Light We Carry. It's actually a phenomenal book, but it really highlights the importance of empathy and kindness. And it talks about the way that we all have a light inside of us that illuminates the way for others. And if you could just imagine a world that was filled to the brim with kindness and empathy, particularly in healthcare settings and clinical settings, where you have a lot of underrepresented communities and others who don't necessarily trust in the healthcare system, it would just really revolutionize the way that healthcare is given, but also the way people perceive healthcare and seek it out. Not necessarily a guilty pleasure. Something that I really enjoy doing is spending time with family and friends and carving out that time to do so. I often think about refilling my tank, and it's a form of self-care, right? And so you can't pour from an empty cup. And sometimes you feel a little guilty thinking, oh, well, I need to refill my tank, but you need to refill your tank so you can pour into others' cups. And so that's how I recharge and energize myself. So with my family, we spend a lot of time doing different activities. And so at the holiday time, typically Christmas, we all gather together under one roof, and my mother sets up different activities for each day. And one of my favorite activities that we've done as a family is a cooking class. And so we all went to Sur La Table and we participated in a cooking class together. And that was a lot of fun. You learn a lot about your siblings and your parents when you're all in one big kitchen trying to cook and make a big meal for each other. So it was a lot of fun. But we do different activities like that, go to the movies, cooking class. We may go to Top Golf one evening. But it's all about the experience more so than gifts for us during the holidays.